Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order, and today I want to start off with a short story from the Star Wars Tales comic book, issue number 1. It's called Life, Death, and the Living Force. Now, originally I think I put this somewhere in between Jedi Apprentice, but rereading it again, I just feel that Obi-Wan looks older, or he's drawn in the comic book a lot older. So this probably may happen after Jedi Apprentice series. To be honest, it's a generic adventure. It could go anywhere, but shockingly enough, for Star Wars Tales, it's a good issue. It's one that I feel does Qui-Gon Jinn justice. It's basically him explaining to Obi-Wan how he follows the living force. We know this in the movie, but we get to see it in this little comic book, this short story here, where he befriends an alien who's very rude, and Obi-Wan's like, why are we even friends with this guy? You know, why are you even feeding him? He's going to betray us. That's what his species does. And Qui-Gon goes, well, he's hungry, he needs help, so we're going to help him. And then, of course, in the middle of the night, he betrays them. He brings his other gang to them and tries to kill them. And Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan defend themselves, and they end up slaughtering the whole band. Again, Obi-Wan is confused, like, wait, you wanted to feed him, you wanted to save him, you wanted to be kind to him, and then when he turned against you, you killed him. He said, well, it's either that or I would die, and it's not my time to die. You know, he's just basically telling him, hey, the Force just told me to do this at this moment. Now the Force is telling me to defend itself. I follow the living Force. Obi-Wan doesn't understand, but then they sense a great big beast, a giant monster inside this mountain, and Obi-Wan feels it too. He's like, okay, we need to kill this monster. And he doesn't know why, he just knows that the living force is compelling him to do that. And so they slaughter the monster in his sleep, they sneak up on him, and then they act really quick and they go after him, they just kill him. You know, he's a big behemoth. But then Obi-Wan feels a little sad. He's like, Qui-Gon, aren't you upset? We just took the life for no reason. He went, well, it was his time to die. The living force told us that. Either some past transgression he had, or to avoid some future devastation he may have caused. Either way, I follow the living force. And Obi-Wan's like, I'll never understand this. And he goes, someday you will. And it's a nice little, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's a nice little short story from Star Wars Tales. But you know what else is nice? The Jedi Apprentice series, and we are on the next book here called The Deadly Hunter by Jude Watson. Now this one I remember quite well. It introduces what I call the second great arc in the Jedi Apprentice series. Basically, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan come back from Coruscant before they go to the temple to meet with Yoda and discuss their previous mission or their last mission. I don't know if it takes place after the next book, but they've been on a mission. Qui-Gon says, hey, let's go see a friend of mine, Didi. Didi runs a little cafe, a little diner there, and a greasy spoon, so to speak, on Coruscant, and he is friends with everyone on the Jedi Council. Yoda's his friend, Master Tall is his friend. Everyone loves Didi, but Didi, when he sees Qui-Gon, he is in trouble. You know, and he tells Qui-Gon, there's a bounty hunter that tried to go after me. I know where she's staying. She has a laser whip, so be careful. Talk to her. Tell her I did nothing wrong. So Qui-Gon's like, did you really do nothing wrong? Because Didi's not a bad guy, but he does a little, he deals in information, deals in the black market a little bit, but he tries to keep on the up and up. He has a daughter named Astri who has taken over the business, improved the cooking there recently. Qui-Gon tells Obi-Wan, do not eat the cooking, because supposedly Didi's an awful cook. But Astri's a pretty good cook, and she's kind of decorating the pigsty. It doesn't look as bad, but she's just trying to put her female touch on it. Anyway, Astri has no idea what Didi's up to, and Didi wants to leave her out of it. So they go and confront the bounty hunter. She's a master of disguise with a laser whip. She's got quick reflexes. Obi-Wan gets tripped up by her laser whip. And the whole time, Qui-Gon is basically coaching Obi-Wan to look for certain telltale signs. He's like, Padawan, next time, watch your wrist. You'll see when she activates it. That's how I could get out of the way and you couldn't. And then later on he says, notice, after they've encountered her more than once, he says, notice how she leads with her shoulders. So watch her shoulders to determine where she's moving next, and watch how she shifts her feet to know where she's going to move. You don't need the Force to anticipate every move. You can look at someone's body and see what's going to happen. And I like that he's coaching Obi-Wan. And eventually at the end of the book, Obi-Wan makes a great death-defying move to kind of stop the bounty hunter, which is really cool. But anyway, the bounty hunter, they go to confront her to see why she's after Dee Dee. She doesn't speak to them, which I think is kind of neat. And then they go back to Dee Dee and say, you had to have something wrong. What was the last thing did you steal anything or anything? It's like, no, I have two bits of information. One, that a senator is retiring early, and the other one, that these pirates are moving to a different base. They deal in the black market and they're moving to a different base. Well, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan explore both leads. They're basically dead ends at first, and then later on, more starts to unfold from the story, and they start making these connections. And later on, it's all connected. But here's the big thing: Jenna Zan Ador, or whatever. She is the big baddie in the next story arc, and this is her first introduction. Now, at first, all we know of her is that she's a respected scientist on Coruscant. We don't know what her study is, unless you've read these before, which I definitely remember what she was into. But she gets, of course, later on revealed as the culprit, the centerpiece of this whole conspiracy about Dee Dee, why the bounty hunter is going after Dee Dee in the first place. It actually turns out to be something Astri, incidentally, unbeknownst to her, did to bring down all this heat on Dee Dee, which is kind of a nice moment. And there's some great stuff. Dee Dee and Astri go to a hideout that Dee Dee won in a gambling game, but later on, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan find out that that gambling game was all a setup, an elaborate trap to give him a retreat that he would flee to so that the bounty hunter would catch him there. And the bounty hunter, master of disguise that she is, when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon visit them, they say, okay, you've been here all by yourself? Yeah, except for the caretaker. They're caretaker? Yeah, this little old lady, she just gives us food. And then immediately Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon ignite their lightsabers because they know that's the bounty hunter, just waiting to see if they'll give away any information. She's looking for a data pad. And they don't know that's what she's looking for. They don't know it's her. The bounty hunter is her. And immediately, once that happens, the whole cottage turns into a safe house. Everything locks down. And the bounty hunter who was there the whole time comes out, laser whip ablazing in the dark. They have this big epic battle where they escape the room or the house. They run out into the snow, battle her. They find out both of their cruisers, the Jedi's cruiser and Dee Dee and Astri's, have been sabotaged by her. So Obi-Wan finds her cruiser and tells Dee Dee and Astri, run for it while we fight her. Well, of course, she slips by the two Jedi and is running after Dee Dee and Astri. Again, Obi-Wan makes this awesome move to kind of disarm her. And then as he's going to help Dee Dee, who has been shot and hurt, suddenly the bounty hunter, of course, rises up again and shoots Qui-Gon. And Qui-Gon falls as he's going after her. She's retreating to her ship, and Qui-Gon's chasing after her. Well, she shoots Qui-Gon. He falls on the ramp. And so the ramp, then, kind of the ship kind of closes and shoots off. So, wait, did Qui-Gon just get captured? Or is he going after her? Is he capturing her? Was Qui-Gon really that bad hurt? Obi-Wan doesn't know, but he knows that his master is kind of going off with the bounty hunter. They've kind of left the planet, and he's kind of stranded there right now. And it ends with Obi-Wan looking at the sky, promising he will find his master and get him back. So it's a little bit of a cliffhanger. This is a great one. Like I said, I remember this one very well. When I saw the cover, I was like, okay, this is Jenna Zan Ador. I knew she had to be somewhere in this series. I forgot about the two individual, well, not one of the individual episodes I remember, but I thought it had the scientists in it. And then the last one I just totally forgot about. But this one, now I'm back on track. Now I remember these really well. And this one is a great one. It doesn't have to deal, and that's the good thing, we don't have another Dark Jedi. Jude Watkins avoids that trope. After Xanatos, which was fine, she avoids that trope of just having another Dark Jedi be the villain. And that's what's so creative about her writing. But I can't wait to talk about the next part next time.